Hey YouTube, this is Rescue Amusement Park Fan 62. Um, on February the 1st, 2022, uh, it, it was announced that SeaWorld wants to acquire Cedar Fair. Now, here are my overall thoughts and opinions about it. Um, now, could it happen? It's possible, but like everything, Cedar Fair has to look over all of that. But one of the biggest things about that, though, that I don't really like is the fact they're kind of eliminating competition in certain areas. Because there's only an hour or so from SeaWorld or Busch Gardens, Williamsburg to King's Dominion. So you're kind of eliminating competition there. And then of course you have, the SeaWorld parks, and then you have Busch Gardens parks to like, other Cedar Fair parks, Six Flags parks, and etc. But I, but there's a lot of other stuff in this too that you don't really think about that would affect it. Now, one of the biggest ones are their providers. So that would be one of the things they would have to agree to is who would go with what provider. Now, what I mean by this is like, no, they both parks have Coca-Cola, so that wouldn't be too much of a problem. But this is more in the lines of like food providers, the big prize providers, um, alcohol providers. Would Cedar Fair get the free beer um, to like the Busch Gardens parks and etc. etc. I I don't know. It's just because the way Cedar Fair does things is can be a lot different than Busch Gardens or SeaWorld parks. Or Cedar Fair doesn't really focus on animal style stuff like SeaWorld does. Now, um, Cedar Fair doesn't really focus on a lot of theming aspects to right well places like SeaWorld and them kind of do. So it would really make that whole thing wonky. Is it possible it could happen? Absolutely. But we just have to play it out, see what happens, and then go from there. Um, as far as the answer to it, we could hear about in the next month, 6 months, a year. We don't know. But we just have to find out and see.